And welcome to the Paletti Rosa homestead. It is really early in the morning and I decided that around noon or whatever I'd love to have some fresh bread. So I got up. I'm not changed yet or nothing. That's why I'm not showing myself. I thought I'd show you how to make some really quick and easy bread. Okay? So let's start out with, you need 1.5 cups, 1.5 cups of warm water. In that, you are going to add 2 tablespoons of dry yeast. And then a tablespoon of sugar. Sugar just helps the dry yeast. And just mix it up. Try to get as many of the bigger clumps as you can out. Just mix it around. Like I said, just try to get out as much of the clumps as you can. And you just let it go for, once you get all the clumps out, let it go for about 10 minutes. See, I got some stuff on the back, so I gotta get that off. Okay, I'll be back in like 10 minutes. Don't go nowhere. Okay, it's been 10 minutes and you'll see a foamy layer on the top. It's foamy. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is you're gonna put in 4 cups of flour. I just don't want to get it all over the place. Of course, I always do. Mix it around a little bit. You don't want to do a lot of mixing. This is a very simple bread to make. And then put in a teaspoon of salt. And I use pink Himalayan. You can use whatever you want. You want to mix until there's no flour on the bottom. Now, depending upon your elevation, you may have to add in just a little bit of water, like maybe a teaspoon. What I usually do when I get to this point is I have a board right here, and I will put it on the board, and I'm not going to knead it, but I'm going to make sure that all the... Did you see that piece of flour just go flying? Huh. That all the flour is together. Or I should say, the mixture is all mixed together. And I can see it hasn't. I still got flour on the bottom. So I'm going to scoop out all that flour. I'm going to try to get it, I'm not kneading, I'm folding. Then that same bowl I just had all this in, once I get it all on here, that all the flour's been mixed up, and I'm just rolling over. You might have some bread on your or dough on your fingers. You just need to try to get off the clumps that you can. Fold it up over a couple times. Then what you're going to do is I am going to put it back in that dish like I said. Now, What some people do is some people clean this. You know what? I am going to do it. I'm going to show you another way. I'll be right back. I'm just going to clean this bowl out a little bit. Here's the same bowl, just washed and clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of olive oil in there. Make sure it's nicely coated. I did this a long time ago, and if I recall, it worked out really well. So I'm going to give it a shot again this time. Okay, and I will be putting my bread in there. And you are going to cover it for 2 hours. Okay, and I just take a little cup of water and I put some little droplets of bread, good one. Some driplets of water, and my cat wants to go out, but it's too early in the morning. If you have a spray thing with water, just use that. All my spray bottles are used. Okay, and leave it for 2 hours. I'll be back in 2 hours. Okay, so it's been the 2 hours. So what I did now is I took my Dutch oven and I put the oven at 425 and I put the Dutch oven in it. I want to get the Dutch oven heated while I'm doing this next step. And it's probably even a little bit on the early side that I did that. Okay, now, look how easy this comes out. And there's nothing inside. And that's by just putting a little bit of oil. So now what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to keep folding over the bread. Fold it over. Fold it over, fold it over, and flatten it out. Fold it over, fold it over, fold it over, fold it over, flatten it out. Fold it, fold it, fold it, fold it, flatten it out. And we're going to do this a few times. Then we're going to let it sit again for about 30 minutes. And during this 30 minutes, you're warming up your Dutch oven. This is the stretching time. This is when you're stretching it out. See, I'm stretching it out. Stretching it out. Folding, 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 folding. And I'll do it one more time. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shape it into the bread. Just kind of like if you went into Pizza Hut when they take the dough out to make the pizza. It's kind of like a little oblong-y. A little. It's not perfectly round. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of flour. So excuse me for one moment. just going to put a little bit of flour up on the top. Now, my bowl still has a lot of the oil around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick this up and put it back in the bowl. Now you kind of shape it, when, at least I do because of the bowl I'm using. This is a Pampered Chef bowl, measuring bowl. And once again, I'm going to cover it for about 30 minutes. Okay, so we'll be back in 30 minutes. So I have 1 minute left until the bread is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dutch oven out of the oven right now. It's been in almost 30 minutes. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, I have my Dutch oven right there. And here is my bread. So I'm just going to take it out. And again, it just pops right out, which is really nice. That's the good thing about putting oil in. And I just got a few little spots to cover up right here. Now I want to try something a little different. I haven't done this before, but I would like to try putting some Italian seasoning. And if you watched not my last video, the video before that, I made homemade Italian seasonings. Get away. Okay, that may be better. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a knife right now and you're going to make a slit across the top. And then you're going to make a slit this way. I'm going to put some Italian seasoning across the top. Hopefully it gives it a little bit of a taste.
Hold on a minute.
And then you just take a little bit of flour. Oh, you got to see me in my pajamas. Sprinkle it on top. And just pick it up and put it in. You don't have to shape it or anything. Now what I'm going to do is I'll be putting it in my oven at 425 for 30 minutes, uncovered. Then what I'm going to do is I am going to cover it and then put it back in the oven for about 15-20 minutes. So let me get it in the oven, and I'll bring you back after 30 minutes. Now I'm dressed. So I think I made a mistake. I said you bake it uncovered for 30 minutes. You bake it covered for 30 minutes. And then then you take the cover off and let it go 15 to 20 minutes more. Okay? We'll be back. Well, I have approximately 31 seconds until it comes out of the oven. And what I did was I got some butter and my little thing right here. And I'm going to coat the top of the bread with some butter. Then I'm going to put the lid on and cook it for about 15 to 20 minutes. Take the lid off. Put the butter on and then put it back in the oven with the lid off for about 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just tapping the top, as you can see. Giving it a nice butter flavor. Let me bring it in and show you what it looks like. So this is what it looks like, and it will get browner on top during that time that the lid is not on. So back in the oven again. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes and then check it. You want the top to be browned. That's what you're basically looking for now. Okay, we'll be back. Well, here it is at 15 minutes, and I think I'm going to go in a little bit longer because I'd like it a little bit browner and crispier. Don't want to leave it in too long because then it dries it out. Well, this was it. That was I left it in for the 20 minutes, and it looks so good. I can't wait to give it a try.